The story of Esther is likened to the dawn in Jewish history. And the Gemara in Daf 29 of Yoma says, why is that? What is the comparison between Esther and dawn? The response is an interesting one. It says, just like dawn is the end of the night, so too the book of Esther, the holiday Purim, well, this is the end of the period of miracles for the Jewish people. And the Gemara argues for that a bit, says, well, what about Hanukkah? There's some miracles there, weren't there? And it says, well, okay, there Hanukkah, yes, but that wasn't really written down in our Bibles, the end of the miracles that were recorded. But what a fascinating idea that we compare miracles to the night and not the day. You'd think this, a miracle, what is it? It's an incredible moment of revelation, right? Why does that end when the night comes to an end? Why do we say that the period of miracles, well, that belongs to kind of the night period of Jewish history? Then we moved into the day period and miracles no longer belong. And I think it's very much part of this whole idea, like think about night, think about dreams, think about fantasy realms, things that can't exist in the broad daylight, exist under the cover of darkness. The world of miracles tends to belong to that. In other words, we're looking back at that period of biblical history, the period of God's revelation of Sinai and the parting of the seas and the 10 plagues. We're looking at it as like almost a dreamlike period. It's a period of a different type of reality, the type of reality that exists at night. These days, we have the dawn. We've got much more of a world that is based on logic and wisdom and clarity of thought, the ways of looking at things. It's saying, you know what, miracles don't belong to that realm. And in fact, this realm can look at things like miracles and say, oh, that's just a bunch of hogwash, bunch of stories. Where's the proof? How can you prove to me anything like that happened? And just like our dreams at night, there's no proof to it. There's no logic. We can fly, we can fight dragons, we can do all of these things. It's a different period. It's like there's a very clear, bright, conscious level of understanding, and beneath the surface, deeper, darker, more abstract level of understanding. And the miracles that we're experiencing at Sinai, in the desert, like that all belongs to that night sequence. And we're saying we're entering into a different period. There's less magic, there's less miracles, there's less clear revelation, there's not going to be prophecy. It's a whole different realm of existence. And it's part of a whole pattern of moving from one way of understanding to another way of understanding. It doesn't mean the old way was false or gone or insignificant. It means that the world transitions from one to the other. And our challenges are very different in a world of light, in a world of brightness, in a world where anything that speaks of magical, anything that speaks of mystical, anything that speaks of more than we can measure with our instruments is kind of pushed to the side. How do we understand a life full of deeper meaning when we don't have clear revelation, when we don't have clear communication, when we don't have miracles or prophecy? How do we find that in this enlightened scientific age? It's one of the great questions that we have to struggle to be finding meaning, finding connection in every single age. In the ages of miracles and prophecy, where they also struggled there, they had very different struggles. They had the struggles of too many gods. They had the struggles of all the idolatry and all these other dark forces that were very relevant in their lives. Just like, your nightmares at night, they're filled with all of these forces that were very real. To the daytime, where all that stuff seems so unreal that it's difficult to conceive of a world greater than what we live in now. Then where's the meaning? Where do we go? We live this life, we got our 80 years, and then we go lie in the ground and become dust, and that's it. There's no meaning, there's no greater thing, there's no soul, there's no consciousness, there's no expansiveness, there's no purpose. Where do we find that in this day of light? And this is what we say, the bridge is Purim. The bridge is Esther, that Esther is the one who brings us from the place of all of these miracles that we've received. And at Purim, there's no clear revealed miracles. There's no clear revealed God. It's this book of the Bible that actually doesn't mention God once, but it's the book of having to look beneath the surface and see that, coincidence upon coincidence upon coincidence upon coincidence, bringing out this certain outcome say, you know what? No, there's more. There's a hand behind this. There is something behind this. There is something greater. And despite the fact that we can't count upon revealed miracles, we have to continue to search and dig and delve and try to bring out the incredible meaning in this incredible world we've been blessed with.